welcome to Head Wreck, the show where we talk about the things that are wrecking your heads and the things that are wrecking our heads. I'm John Bird, as always, and with me, as always, is Alan Ryan. Say hi, Alan.
Hi, Alan.
Every time. He loves it when I do that. We hope you're all doing good. And as always, you can connect with us and chat with us and tell us your woes and head wrecking issues at the lads at headwrecked.com. And on the socials, they can get us at
Head_wrecked. And that's wrecked
it.
with a W, just to clarify that.
That is, it is. So it's been a tumultuous week, tumultuous or whatever
Tumultuous.
I don't know. I don't even.
That the noise you make when you walk on leaves?
Yeah. No, that's Russell, isn't it? He does that.
He does, yeah. Russell Leaf.
Russell, he's very good at that. So at this, before we recorded this one, I put it out there to our populace as to if they had any head wrecking woes, and we asked them to DM us, and we got one.
Anna, just before you go into it, I do want to just bring attention to, we are now international. We have listeners from everywhere in the world, not just Cavan and Limerick. We have them further afield. Donegal, no. We have the people from Asia, Asia countries, South Asia, so East Asia, West Asia, North Asia, Central Asia. They're all different parts of something as far as I know.
They are, yeah. And this week alone, I mean, should we even be talking about it? It sounds like a brag, but I think it's not a brag. We're just happy. So we've got Ireland, obviously, you've got the US, we've Czech Republic, Japan, Philippines, Poland, Russia, and Turkey. There you go. A good spread of the world. The map is lighting up. We're making waves. And I think people are finding that, their heads are wrecked and they can tell us about it and they're enjoying our head wrecking stories. So that's good.
And if you're listening in any of those countries, pop us a DM. Head_wrecked, and tell us where in your respective country you're listening to, and we'll reply whether we like your country or not.
we probably won't. Let's just we probably won't. I'm sure we'll miss it. So I'm going to kick off with a DM that we got today, and he did not.
What does DM stand for, Jonathan?
Direct messaging, isn't it? No, direct message. It is, yeah. DMs, direct message. I'm sure it is.
It is.
Unlike some person I used to work with, he will remain nameless as Tony. He thought that when someone said LOL in a chat that they were saying lots of love, and he always wondered why people were saying LOL after funny stories. They were going lots of love, so he was ending off messages with lots of love, thinking it was lots of love. There you go. So now it's a learning day. Every day is a learning day. So our very good friend and listener Daniel Ivers, so he's a very big fan of the show, according to me. Well, you've probably seen him on our socials because he likes a lot of our stuff and he's a very avid listener. So he didn't go well, the lads. So this is directly to me, Alan. So sorry. So
fuck you, Daniel.
Yeah, fuck you, Daniel. There's two of us in it. Jeez. So, well, John, hope all is well.
It's even worse. Just say hi, John.
He didn't ask how you were.
Daniel, you dick.
How head wrecking for you. Okay, so cups of tea. So cups of tea. Okay. You're okay with cups of tea?
No, right. See where this is going.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of points in this, so you're going to have issues with a couple of points.
I think I've only had one cup of tea this year, by the way. I think I've only had one cup of tea so far
this year. Probably only the same. I'm just a coffee drinker now. The debate around how many cups of tea should be made is ridiculous. Milk in first or after?
Oh, never milk first unless you're a psychopath.
Never. No, milk doesn't go in first. I don't care. We're Ireland, right? So
I'm going to add to this though, just as a sidebar to this. Going, what about cereal? Milk first and then the cereal?
Never.
I know lots of people do it.
Why? No. It doesn't make sense because then you don't know if you are at the right ratio of milk to cereal. Like I put in a ton of cereal because I know that's 100% cereal, how much I want. And then I add the milk and I go, right, I have the adequate amount of cereal.
About 90% coverage.
Yeah. But if you're just putting in milk, how do you know when to stop? To know that when you put the cereal in, it's going to be covered. Absolutely. No, absolute psychos.
It's like wiping first and then going for a shit.
and Alan has hit the record again. Every podcast we talk about shit. Okay, right. Yeah. So that's it. We're done. Okay, so right. Anyway, first of all, milk in first wrap. So milk, no, milk last. What milk after sugar? Well, anyway, you put the water
milk
in.
After the tea bag. No, we go water.
Oh,
wait, tea bag. You don't. Sorry, I go tea bag, water. Then I would probably. Then sugar milk. I don't take sugar, but I don't know about that.
Okay. So, geez, you're really opening a can of worms here, Daniel. Right. So, do you pour the milk in? He doesn't have that here, but I just thought of it there. Do you pour the milk in while the tea bag is in the cup? Because that's a
No,
thing
absolutely
now.
not.
No,
No,
I
no,
know
no,
it's
no.
just rotten looking. It looks like vomit in the bag. It's no, you take.
It looks like cheap cup of soup.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with
yeah.
cup of soup, except it's disgusting. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then of course there's the debate over how long you leave the tea bag in. It depends on your
Good squeeze.
flavors there. Yeah, but you do get it. So then talking about the squeeze, how many stirs? Yeah, the stirs
I don't
doesn't bother me
stir.
so much
Oh,
because what I do when I'm squeezing out the tea bag and I pour in the milk, it kind of has momentum and it mixes with the milk anyway. So do you squeeze the tea
centrifugal
bag or don't?
forces.
Squeeze the tea bag or don't squeeze the tea bag. You do. You squeeze the
Squeeze
tea
the tea
bag,
bag. That's
right?
how you
So
get the
there's
flavor
so
out of
many
it.
levels to this message,
No,
and
there's
I'm
not. There's
still only
only one
halfway through.
right way.
Right,
You
right. No, but
tea
there's so
bag,
many
milk,
optional levels, but there's one
squeeze,
right way.
depending on whatever milk you want, and then sugar at the end. That's it. Done. Daniel,
Okay.
fuck off. You
Okay.
didn't say hello to
Okay. Well,
Alan,
he
so.
is saying each to their own, right?
No.
But
Each to their
before
own.
he
Hello, John. Hello,
no,
everybody. That's each to
actually,
their
yeah,
own.
no, you're right there. It's not each to their own because anyone who puts the milk in with the tea bag or doesn't squeeze the tea bag is banana. So what do you do with the tea bags? Do you throw it straight in the bin or do you put it on the draining board of your sink and let it go dry and crusty overnight like everyone? Or do you just,
See,
or do
the
you throw it
reality is,
straight into the bin and then the bean starts steaming and leaking out the bottom?
Jesus. Okay. So the only time you ever leave something in the side of your sink is normally if you put a knife there. Am I going to make another sandwich or not? So
Oh
going to have
yeah,
it
yeah.
hanging
Women
balance.
don't get that. Women don't understand that.
But
No,
like a tea bag at the side? No, it's straight in the bin.
no.
Straight in
Yeah,
the bin.
straight in the bin. Yeah.
Or sometimes if you have another like a creme brulee dish, you might have one, you'd show like 3 or 4 in that, and you have a separate bowl, shall we say.
Well, here's another question for you then,
So
right? That you just so if you're putting a sliced pan, you know, like a loaf when you buy a fancy loaf of
the,
bread,
the bag
do
of
you
bread, we
wash? Do
mentioned this
you eat
before.
the bag of bread? Do you? Well, it's not already sliced, so do you wash that?
Oh,
No,
the
no.
bread.
Yeah, you'll wipe it with the tea
What?
towel or in your t-shirt
The
and put it back in the
bread.
press, don't you? No, that's not the bread. No,
Yeah. I
the
was like, why'd
knife.
you wash the
No,
bread
the
for?
knife. So the knife is technically not dirty. It's just cut the bread. You don't
Uh,
clean that
uh,
knife then. No, no.
I know I still have a dishwasher, so I'm like, and it goes
But
anyway.
it's not dirty because it's like dry
Yeah, but
bread.
dishwasher's going on anyway. Do you know what I mean? So what's an extra knife? That's logical. But yeah, I can get why somebody might
And
I should wipe it with a
the
t-shirt
quote of the week goes to
or
Alan.
your
Sure,
leg.
what's an extra knife?
What's
That's
an
it.
extra knife?
Well,
Yeah.
it's a saying for life. What's an extra life? So the last bit that Daniel is saying is it's as pretentious a conversation as how Guinness should be poured slash drank. Now, Dalian, I'm taking an issue with that.
Daniel. Dalian.
Dalian, I'll
Dalian.
call him what I like. I'm taking an issue with that because there are specific ways that Guinness should be poured and specific ways it should be drank. So it should be poured properly and it should be drank in hefty quantities. That's about it,
Absolutely.
really.
Split the G and then kind of 3 or 4 maybe
Split.
of a
Do
gups.
you know what? I worked in pubs for years and I only heard that term split the G about 2 weeks ago on Today FM. I'd never even heard it before.
That's
Split the
because you were
G.
that's because you spent so many years looking for the G spot.
Oh
Yes.
my God. Splitting it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Split it with a bit of
Jesus
head with
Christ.
a bit of head and
Never
Guinness. What?
found it. Never found it. There you go. So yeah, that was good, Daniel. Thank you for that. And
No, fuck you, Daniel.
yeah,
My
but
name's Alan.
oh, well, and we didn't even get into the whole Lions Barry's debate because to be honest, I would not know the difference. I wouldn't. Not at
Little
all.
or
Not
Aldi
yeah,
Tesco tea
yeah,
bags
yeah,
or
yeah. I wouldn't
whatever.
know the difference. No offense to Lions or Barry's or Little or Ali or Tesco or whoever. Dunn's, they even have their own. I would
But
not
if you're
know the
listening,
difference.
send us in bags of them and we can try it out. We can become tea connoisseurs.
Yes, that's right. And I said I was going to try Yellow Belly beer, not sponsored. In the last one, I did not get a chance to because it's been a crazy week. And my evenings have been totally consumed and I haven't had a drink. So I will try it this weekend. So Yellow Belly beer, if you're listening, which you're
Yelly
probably
belly.
not, Yellow Belly, not sponsored. I will be trying your alcoholic beverages over the weekend and reviewing said in next podcast, not sponsored.
And I'm at a wedding this weekend, so they might have it there.
Oh, are you in a wedding in Wexford that I
No,
don't know
but
about?
no,
Okay, right.
no.
Okay. Well, they might. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they might.
Okay. So, okay, you're heading to a wedding. Right. Well, thanks for the invite. And now I know how you felt when Daniel didn't mention you in the message there. You were just getting your own back, weren't you?
Here, listen, we've mentioned about our communal friend that sounds really weird, myself and John have, who never invited.
I love that. Well, James, we're talking about you. James,
Yeah,
we're going to have to get him on one of these days. We're going
we
to have
will.
to, right?
We
A
will.
communal friend. I love it. That's
But only
great.
problem is there's no subtitles on your
He's
audio
going to kill us when
supplier.
he hears this.
Yeah, he'd invite me to his wedding, the prick. But anyway, we'll move on.
Right.
So
Well, you can bring that up when we get him on the show. So, Alan,
I have
what's
a
going on?
list,
Oh, jeez.
right?
Right. Go on.
So I'm going to start with one that was most, well, not the one that was most recent, but one that's very common ever. Places that are still blaming COVID for their shitty service.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. I,
you
I,
probably have. It's like
I
you
don't know
go
if
into
I've
the
come
website or an email
across.
going, please note, due to COVID, our turnaround times may be slower.
Yes.
It's like,
Oh,
fuck
you
off.
mean
It's
like
not.
they
No, fuck
haven't
off.
updated their whatever website or whatever? It's like, come on, that was
Yeah, it's
two
just,
years
yeah,
ago,
but
2 years
you're
ago.
still
That's it.
blaming COVID. Yeah, exactly. Going, please note, due to COVID, it might take an hour longer. Just fucking hire the people again.
But is there a chance? I do it. That is head wrecking, absolutely. But is there a chance that some places are still just so bogged down in paperwork because they're understaffed
No,
that they are actually behind
hire
from COVID?
people.
Right?
Hire people.
Okay.
Fucking hire people.
You really
That's
are
just
on it tonight, aren't you?
I'm
Okay.
like, just fucking hire more. Places don't hire enough people. They're like, oh, there's someone calling sick. And they're like, that's your fucking problem, not my problem. It's like, I don't give a shit. But like the thing with the COVID thing that really gets me as well is you'll see it regularly is they still have to keep 2 meter posters on the walls and stuff. You're
Yes,
like, you're gonna
yes, yes,
take it
yes,
down, you
yes.
lazy
And
fucks.
wash your hands to stop the spread of COVID. And
Just wash your hands anyway. Never mind COVID.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
wash
yeah,
your hands in
yeah.
general.
Yeah, no,
But
and
like, I'm
and
like, I'm
well,
thinking it's
actually,
going is,
the
yeah,
screens as well. Only recently, a few shops in town here have taken the screens down. You know the way the
okay,
screens were all
yeah,
around,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like which I got at the time, but they
sure.
so annoying, especially when you're buying giant bottles of water and stuff.
It doesn't fit through the yoke.
Absolutely, yeah. And they've only started coming down recently, which it actually feels weird now that they're gone.
Yeah, but did you ever feel like just sticking your dick through the little slot at the bottom of it?
Not
Or is that just
once.
me? No,
Absolutely not once. No, no, that was literally just you. And that's
although I
why
can go
they've
back to
taken them
Aldi.
all down.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I kept getting stuck.
Okay, so what else is on your list, right? So COVID,
Yeah, COVID
the
stuff.
long, so would you call that long COVID issues? You know, people have
No, just
long COVID.
fucking lazy COVID.
Okay, lazy COVID issues.
I,
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
not
go
haven't
on.
bothered taking in the poster yet, the one that's in the window and the big stickers on the ground. Because I think people bought
Oh,
permanent stickers on
staying
the
two
ground, they
meters
can't take them up.
apart. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Which they never looked 2 meters apart, those stickers to me
No,
as
it
well.
didn't.
Like
I think we
two
were
a
1.5
meter, they
meters, I think, in
say a
fairness.
meter is like what when your arms are
Three
stretched
foot.
out, isn't it?
No. Well, you look at
Yeah.
Stretch Armstrong.
Like well, he's not real. Tell him about
Or
real people.
I need to be really careful what I'm about to say here now is the small guy from Lord of the Rings. What's his name?
I don't remember. DM was who the small guy from Lord of the
No, do you
Rings
know the
is.
guy I'm talking about? He was in Elf as well. I
Oh
just have
yes, sorry.
not Kendrick Lamar, but it's something like that. I know.
No,
No,
I
no,
know it
no.
is. No, let's not Google it. Let's not Google it. It's in there somewhere. It'll come to
People are
us very.
screaming at us now
I know.
in their Turkish accents
And
from
he's done
Turkey.
a lot of stuff with Ricky Gervais and
Yeah,
I can't
Warwick
think of his name.
Davis.
Warwick
Warwick
Davis.
Davis.
Warwick Davis.
That
Yes.
wasn't who I was thinking of. It was
Oh,
it was the
okay.
other guy.
I don't know the other one.
The guy who was in Lord of the Rings. Warwick Davis was in Star
Was
Wars,
that
I think.
was War? I don't know. I haven't seen Lord of the Rings since it came out. I know.
I never saw Lord of the Rings, so there we go.
Really?
Or Harry Potter,
Wow. Okay.
or
Right.
Game of Thrones.
Wow. Okay. I didn't finish Game of Thrones actually, but yeah, I have seen a lot of. Yeah. Well,
Okay,
okay. Well,
so
that's right in my
next
head.
thing,
Now, tell me what's the
next
next thing?
next thing. This is his name is going to just randomly pop
Right.
into our head. So another thing that really annoys me, right? And this is a public transport one. I got the bus for the first time this year, I think, this week. And this is specifically for the bus, but it probably applies to everyone. People who don't change seats in the bus when there's another free seat. So they're sitting beside you. The seat in front of you
Yeah.
then empties, and they stay sitting beside you. Should they move to that empty seat now?
Yes, part of me thinks they're absolutely crazy and psycho if they don't. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I've been in a situation
I
where,
don't think they're a smelly bastard. That's the reason why you don't want to move.
yeah, that's one. And I've also where I just don't think of it and then realize and go, oh, sure, I'm here now. And then there's an embarrassment element as well. So you don't want somehow it feels rude. And then if you do move into the seat in front, do you sit in front of where you are sitting or in front of the person? Because that's like just sitting dead in front of someone in the cinema. That's just
Yeah,
rude.
yeah, but for me, it's like going, I'm now at the window seat. That's a much more comfortable seat, the window seat, because you can go, I have another half hour left in the bus. I can just close my eyes
Yeah, and
rather
you
than going,
can
is this
scratch your
person,
name into the
eh,
wall when your keys,
yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of thing.
plug your phone into the USB thing that turns 1% over 6 hours. But rather than going, is the person going to get up beside me or not? What's going to happen? And you're always constantly on edge then a little bit. So yeah,
Yeah.
that
No, I
annoys
know
me
what
because
you
it
mean.
happened.
Yeah.
Because
But it,
I was upstairs in the bus, and there was about 4 people upstairs in the bus, right? And 2 of those people were on the same seat. One of them was me. So 90% of the rows were empty. Still somebody sitting beside me. And like, just move. The rest of the bus is free. Fucking move.
what, and would you say it to anybody to move?
No,
But like,
because
doesn't matter. So this is the thing. This is the
yeah.
thing with buses that always got to me is when you get on a bus, if it's jam packed, you will just sit fucking whatever seat is
Oh
free.
yeah, yeah.
You'll just jump straight in. But
But
the
you calculate.
selective process
Yes.
when it's half empty, it's so funny. We're as a creature, we're just so weird the way we look. We weigh up each different seat. It's like you're all going the one way. Just fucking sit down. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So if
Like
someone does want
yeah.
to sit next to you and the bus is empty,
I cough all the
why
time. You
not?
don't sit beside me.
Yeah, yeah. Put your leg
But
up on the
again, when you're
seat.
getting in the bus, you're walking along going, if there's an attractive lady, you can't go, I can't sit beside her because I'm going to feel like a pervert. So you have to go for the,
No, no,
for
nobody
the,
feels that. Just you, Alan, because you probably sit right beside her, just staring her in the face for the entire journey. That's why you feel like a pervert.
on her way to Aldi going, here's this guy who sticks his dick to the screen again. I knew I recognized him from somewhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But,
that's
but you have to go going, that person is a larger person, so there's not going to be enough room beside them. This person looks smelly. This person looks like they're going to start talking to me. And then to add to this,
yeah.
we've mentioned this before, the people who then are on having full video calls on their phones or watching Instagram videos with
Really? See, I
headphones. But
don't
anyway,
really do public transport anymore. I
neither do
couldn't.
I, but I
I
got it
mean, if you
for
have earphones on,
logical.
fine, but they don't have
Yeah,
earphones on, I'm sure. Yeah,
yeah.
that's an issue. I don't like that. Um,
So
yeah,
I have another one.
right, go
I have
on.
lots. I have lots of ones. This is a very topical one. Is curtains that aren't dark enough to keep the light out in the mornings.
That's very specific.
Very specific.
You
So
have, we have discovered over weeks and weeks and various different podcasts, you have so many issues with that house that you live in. You need to move, Alan.
no, I put these curtains up because when I moved in, there were no curtains, they were just blinds. And the blinds, I may as well put fucking cling film on the window or saran wrap. Um, so I bought blackout blinds, which are fine, but it's a bit
Yeah,
of a gap around them. But I've stayed in other people's houses where like 4 a.m. you hear the birds whistling outside. You may as well just be on a runway. How bright the sunshine's coming in. And
yeah.
I need dark room. I need a dark room to sleep. I'm such a terrible sleeper. Any
Okay.
form of light, my brain's like, hey, it's morning. Get up. I'm like, shut the fuck up, brain. It's
Oh,
not.
I'm the
I was
exact
like,
opposite. Yeah, okay.
really are you? No, yeah, I
Yeah.
need darkness,
No,
my old
I
friend.
don't mind at all. But like if it is not as dark as I need it to be, I just put the duvet over my head. You need to get yourself one
But
of
then it
those
gets too hot.
the little
It
things,
gets too
the
hot.
little what you
I
call
have
it to put
them.
over your eyes.
I
The
have
oh
them.
my God, what's it called? The eye mask, is it, or whatever they're called?
Yeah,
You
eye
have
mask.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blindfold.
A blindfold. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
get a
yeah.
blindfold.
Yeah. And then people walk in going, why are you handcuffed to the bed, Alan? I'm like,
I don't know. Why
I
you
go, I
got
go, yeah, this is Harvey Norman. You need to leave.
it?
I'm lying on the bed store or whatever it's called.
For our non-European listeners and
Or
our
Australian.
no, well, the Australian, it's from
Yeah,
Harvey Norman is a
yeah.
department store that sells
Go, Harvey,
furniture
go.
and you know, house stuff. It's not literally a person. Well, I'm sure it is a person, but it's not a person that Alan's talking about, unless he
As
is
far as I
talking
know, the
about a
two
person that he
surnames. I
knows
think it might be
called.
two surnames as far as I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember I Googled this before a long time ago, and I can't remember.
there you go. I never knew. I never knew. We got a comment on Spotify, Alan,
Ooh,
from
ooh.
IRL. So it's a comment.
Is it IRL for Ireland or in real life? I wonder.
That's what I should have asked them. I should have replied back. So Eno messaged us through, which some of you may not know. If you listen to us on Spotify, you can tell us when you press
How
play on
shit we are.
any episode, you can tell us how shit we are. No, you can rate us with stars, but you can also, on any episode that you're listening to, tell us what's wrecking your head. There's a little pop-up Q&A there, and you can write in the answer, and we get to see it. And we have one from Eno, and he was listening to the one where we were talking about gig ticket prices, and he 100% agrees that they're feckin' ridiculous. And he also says he hates when words like webinar are used to shorten words, which is web seminar. Yes, I think that's right. When did we become so lazy that we needed to shorten syllables? So I'm kind of stuck on the last bit. When we needed to shorten syllables, it
I think it
shortened
was when
2 words. It's
when
but
SMS came out, we had to shorten words because to get them into 160 characters.
oh yes, and Twitter and that kind of thing.
Lol.
But I like get this, Alan. I like a portmanteau. I like which is
Is that like a camel toe, but like on a boat?
Yeah, a sailor's. It's when a sailor wears tight trousers. It's a portmanteau.
I don't know.
No, a
Yeah, what's it?
portmanteau is when two words are put together to create a word.
It's still
Like
not called a sentence.
no, there are two words that put together to create one word, like
Like
webinar.
slapstick.
Slapstick? No, no, no. When two words are shortened, they're kind of halved and put together to create
Oh,
a
sorry.
word.
Okay.
Like, and for the life of me, I can't think of one now apart from webinar. That's obviously there. Or oh my god, everyone's. If you can think of one,
Podcast? I don't
No,
know.
well, oh,
No.
what podcast is that a portmanteau? Oh my god, I actually feel ridiculous. I need to.
Laptop? PC?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Here it showed up the very first. I googled portmanteau. Podcast is a portmanteau made up of a word coined from the combination of the words iPod and broadcast because it was started by Apple. Podcast, iPod, and broadcast. There you go. So that's a portmanteau. There you
There
go.
you go.
So,
There you go.
Eno IRL doesn't like portmanteaus. So, really want to know what IRL stands for because you could kind of argue that's one, couldn't you? In a way. So
It's
there
either
you
short for
go.
Ireland
So
in
you've
real
messed
life
yourself. Yeah,
or I recommend
ladies.
Leipzig.
I was going for ladies, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
In indigenous revealing lycra.
No, that yeah, yeah. He
It's
might be.
IRL.
He look. I'd say he's a mammal.
Well,
He's
it could be
middle-aged.
Yano instead of
Middle-aged.
Eno.
No, well, it could be Lano. Yeah, yeah.
You
I
know,
don't know.
Yano with a
Anyway,
J, like a Yano.
no, but it's just the long
I,
letter,
yeah, and I is
capital
pronounced
I.
as a J in some countries.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. Yeah. Anyway, come on, give us another one, Alan. Tell us something else.
Creaky beds. Creaky beds.
Okay, so I need to ask, why is your bed so creaky, Alan? Is
No,
it
so my bed isn't creaky because I've put about 400 spare socks behind the bed to stop it from moving, right? Because the headboard bangs and you sit on the bed. I want to be very clear about this because I'm kind of conscious of how it sounds. You look at the bed, the
Wait,
headboard
hold on.
bangs.
It doesn't matter how it sounds. We've talked about everything. We literally talked about you wanking in a shopping center earlier. So it doesn't matter if you're
No,
talking about you
I
having
never once
sex.
said I wanked in the shopping center. I
Well,
said I
what
stuck
did
my
you say?
dick through the screen.
Okay. Well, you
Big difference between the two of them.
is there a big difference, Alan? Is there?
There
Okay.
is.
So you didn't wank in a supermarket.
Well,
But
I have, but not part of the story earlier.
right. So creaky beds. Yeah, no, I do know what you mean because
And
ours
any
creaks
form
a
of
bit when you sit
movement.
down or move. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And always in hotels. A lot of times in a hotel, and you're like, God's sake, why is this like creaky? Like, well, I probably know why, because people have been lamping each other out of it for years on that bed. Ah, fucking
for our
Tache
non-Irish
Brishta.
listeners.
Yeah,
Lamping each
Tache
other out of
Brishta.
it
It
means
is broken.
banging heavily.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Intercourse with excessive force, shall we say.
yes. Oh, intercourse with I like the way that's good alliteration there. I like the way that right. Intercourse
Portmanteau
with
is interforce. Interforce.
intercourse probably is a portmanteau of something. I'm sure it is.
Intersexual
It has to be.
course.
It has to be. Yeah, creaky beds are so annoying now. I don't like them. We had a voice message from James, which I can't seem to get to play through the system. But he had 2 points. He's on holidays. One was Irish jerseys, and two was
Oh, yeah.
sweaty hairy backs. But
Well, you can't really do anything with a sweaty hairy back.
we all have
You
sweaty
kind of
hairy
can't.
backs, right? We all do.
I
We
really
do,
don't
John.
really sweat.
I have one too,
I don't massively sweat. It's really weird. I'm not a
You don't
sweater.
sweat?
Not
Not
really.
even under your pits, like
Ever so slight dampness, but it's severe. It's severe. But no, I typically don't.
really?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Lucky you.
It's only
Okay.
blocked pores.
Yeah.
Probably what they
I
can't
don't
convince us
sweat,
huge
but
amount
I
of
have
pressure.
the best, biggest blackheads in all of my pores
They
all
just
over my
pop out
body.
like Vesuvius.
And
Yeah, the
jerseys.
jerseys, I get it. I get it. You're walking
I
down somewhere
haven't
and there's a
really
guy in
come
a Mayo
across
jersey.
that though.
Have you not? You see it all
No,
the time.
no.
The
But
big
then I
thick
said
GAA
last time
head
I'm
in
not a
them.
jersey head, so maybe I block it out.
No. Maybe because you're from Wexford.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
everyone down there just wears them
Yeah,
for
but I
weddings and
don't. I
everything.
don't understand people wearing them to everything, especially on holidays. Is it just maybe? Do you know what? Maybe it's rampant in places and holidays where lads are single and they want. Maybe it's a conversation piece, or they might go, "Oh, you're Irish," to another girl or another guy, whatever their
Yeah,
preference is.
maybe it's to differentiate themselves away from English, maybe because a lot of a lot of people don't like being called English on holidays. especially like places like Spain or Canaries or stuff like that. So maybe that's why they wear the jersey, to be the big
We've
GA
just
headman.
lost all of our English listeners
I
with
never
one
said
fell swoop.
no. I never said that. I was never. I was not derogative at all.
Derogative. Yeah, yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, jerseys, no, put them away. And if you're going on holidays and you do have a really, really, really hairy back, do you know it's not that big an issue. If you're going to a hot
No,
country, we're all
no.
sweating. Don't worry about
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
So,
You can't do
James,
anything about it. It's not
stop
like you
giving
grew
out
the
about
hair
sweaty
purposely for
backs, but
holiday.
you're right about the jerseys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Unless he's complaining about him having a hairy, sweaty back and erects his head because his back gets hairy and sweaty.
And the hair is coming through the jersey.
Oh, Jesus. It's like wearing a reverse fleece.
Oh yeah. Right, Alan, come on, give us another one. You said you'd be mad list. Go
No,
on.
it's this. So, random taxi fees. So I get taxis every now and again. Right.
You
So
have so many transport woes. So many every
I'm a
week.
man of leisure and a man of
Clearly
pleasure and
not,
a man
because
of
it doesn't
ease.
seem like you're enjoying any of these leisurely travels.
No, it's the effort of them. So you get in a taxi and it's like, oh, well, it's only like 48 euros before you even set off because he's
Before the
charged
engine
like,
even moves.
yeah, he's charged you 20 euros because you're sitting in the car.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, if you stand, it'll be cheaper.
Yeah.
And
And
he
if you
charges you
have a
another,
bag in the boot,
yeah.
yeah,
And if it's
you pay
after
for
8
that.
p.m., it's more expensive.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that. And I've never taken an Uber, so I have no idea. I have no basis of comparison from that. But I know, don't they put the prices up when it's busy period as well? Or
So this is the real annoyance. So if you book from a well-known taxi company, I'm not going to mention their name, but
don't worry, he'll
um,
say it eventually when he's given out.
all I'm just going to say is that it's the opposite to paying for something and the opposite to later.
Oh, very
Free now.
good.
So,
Free.
so there we go. There we go.
I told you we'd get it
Yeah,
out.
free now. Yeah. So you have to book in the app, but then they charge you an app
Oh,
booking fee, a
you can't
technology
hail a
fee.
free now taxi.
But then that's a normal taxi then. But if you want to book a taxi, you have to
Okay.
use their app. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they charge you technology fee from anywhere from €1 up to €4 50. It's like, why?
What
What's
did
the
you say? Did
technology
you
fee?
say a technology fee?
It's
It
a
actually says
technology
that
fee.
on the fee.
So they have like a pre, and
I
then it's a pickup fee of
I'm
like two
baffled
euros,
by that.
technology fee of up to like €4. So you're like €12 by the time you get into the taxi in some cases.
I
Now,
just wouldn't.
now
I'd walk.
that is probably a bit more of an exaggeration. It's probably closer to €8 or €9.
Yeah, but that's still a lot just
Oh
for
yeah, yeah,
before you even
yeah, yeah,
move.
yeah.
And then, I mean, how much is it per kilometer? It's €1 at
No, it's
least,
like
is it,
a
or is
kidney
it?
or something. I don't know what it is.
How many kidneys? Yeah, how is it going? Oh, we're doing double accent again. How is it going? How many kidneys to get to Blanche?
No, just to clarify, normally I do the dub accent. What John did there was
Sorry.
clearly
Okay, sorry.
nondescript
Okay.
accent.
Thanks, Alan. Well, speaking of dubs, we called it in the last podcast, didn't we? About the Dublin portal being shut down
Oh,
and
100%. Did we
changed.
mention
Oh,
Dublin Portal? Did we?
yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the last one we were talking about. Absolutely, how I'm baffled that they spent a stupid amount of money on it, and it's literally just like two
We did
giant
talk about
iPods
it.
on the different side of the
Yeah.
world. But it's
And
been
then
shut down and
OnlyFans,
changed, and
flash your tits. You flash your tits.
yes, people are doing
Somebody put up the
all
September
sorts.
11th photo. Now, I'm not going to lie. I did laugh a little bit at that when I saw it. I get the
But
upset
it
at
was
it.
from both sides, though. Like it
Yeah,
was
absolutely.
America and Ireland, you know.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I saw it, I was like, Jesus. I'm like, that's kind of I did laugh at it, but again, it's a
But
terrible thing to have done.
you
But it's
put
both sides.
an uncensored webcam in
Totally.
front of people on the street for free. What do you think is going to happen? Like that's like
Yeah.
putting children in a room full of sweets and telling them not to eat it. I think actually we even used that in the last one, but it is, isn't it? You know, don't eat the sweets, lads. No, they're going to eat the sweets.
There are other children available, not sponsored by Children's with Sweets.
Not sponsored, yeah. Not
Yeah,
sponsored
yeah,
by Dublin Portal.
yeah. It's shut down now for a little while anyway. I think it's gonna be for a couple of
Yeah,
days at least.
yeah, because they need to make some adjustments. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there you go. We called
and
it on that one.
yeah, another thing that's annoys me a lot is burnt food at the bottom of pans and pots.
Again, you with your apartment living woes.
No,
Um,
it's just like well, so I think I may have mentioned this briefly before, but basically going, you're cooking something and you're going, it's grand. You leave the room, you come back in 5 minutes later, the thing's burnt to a crisp.
yeah.
The bottom of the pot is like it's like hieroglyphics you'd expect to find in like a pyramid.
But do you not just soak that? So usually what I do in that instance is Sometimes the hob is already hot, so put some water in it and just leave it kind of simmering
Yeah,
on, and
yeah,
it kind of cooks
yeah,
out. Or
yeah. I've tried
yeah,
that before.
yeah,
Not all the time though, because then you put it in your sink with a little bit of water, and normally then you throw your knife you mentioned or a spoon from the
and your tea
tea into it.
bags.
Yeah, and then you throw on the tap, and then the water hits the spoon. The water goes everywhere like a fountain, all over the kitchen, all over you. Your socks are soaked, and I hate having a wet sock. That sounds really weird.
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
If you don't know
I
what we're talking about there, go a couple of podcasts back to one, I can't remember the full title, but it was lubricated love socks. And you'll
yeah,
hear all about our wonderful creation called Danny Glover.
yeah. But yeah, burnt pots just annoy me because again, I try the thing that you've said, but then it never really washes
I
properly
bet you
ever
just throw
again.
them in the bin, don't you? You
No,
just
no,
throw them
no,
in the bin.
no. I just get takeaways instead.
Yes, of
I'm
course.
like,
Sorry.
fuck this.
Yeah. And you
Yeah,
just have to go to your freezer for that with all of your frozen curries, frozen
yeah.
curry sauce. Yes, yes. God, we're learning so much about each other in ways we never knew was possible, haven't we? We've learned a
I
lot.
feel like this is more lopsided, which is another portmanteau, lopsided.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It probably means
Lo-
like
I don't think it is. I think you're
lopsided,
wrong.
lopsided, LOP sided, LOB sided.
Lob. I always say lob.
I think it's
Lob.
lopsided.
Is
Like a
it?
lop-eared rabbit is a lop-eared because they're slightly uneven.
I've never heard of a lop-eared rabbit.
I mean, like, yeah,
No, never
lop-eared
heard of
rabbit
that. Hmm.
because
There
their
you go.
ears are
See,
loppy.
again, it's another learning episode. If you
Yeah.
have learned anything in this episode, please do not use it because it is probably wrong.
Yeah. Don't Google any of this
Never
stuff.
use this for educational purposes. We're still in awe. I think I certainly am that people are listening to us, and I'm really happy about it. And we're going to keep doing this if you keep listening. So tough shit to all
Yeah.
of you who don't want us to continue.
Yeah.
We're here to
Make
stay, it
yeah.
seems.
Make sure you're subscribed to us. If you are subscribed, difficult word to say. Every time you post, sorry, let me rephrase this. Every time John posts these, because he posts them, not me, you'll be notified of the new
You,
episode.
you will. You will.
And it looks
And
good for us as well.
well, Alan, you have been brilliant as always, and filling me with your household woes as always. I really think you need to move and really
Soon.
consider your life
Soon.
choices, certainly your sexual choices, and
What do
what
you mean,
you,
like going to Aldi, wearing a blindfold and Harvey Norman?
yeah, things like
This is
that.
all
Yeah,
on the same day. These are all happening on the same day, by the
I
way, just to
know, and all in
clarify.
the same podcast as well, which is very, which,
And these are things that I wrecked my head in last week, just to clarify as well, since our last one. So that's been an important. That's why the Dublin portal was shut down because I was there showing my
I will
titties.
not go to see. But thank you so much, everybody, for listening, and thank you, Alan, for being here as usual,
Thank you,
and
everybody.
sticking it out because you're great, and I'm really enjoying it, and
Head
everyone is
underscore
too.
rect on the
Head
socials.
underscore rect, and DM us voice messages. Do whatever. We'll try and sort some way of getting all those voice messages through our system. But until then, we'll read them out. And thank you when we do genuinely love the correspondence. So thank you so much, and thank you for listening. And welcome new listeners from all around the world.
Thank you. Slán.
Bye. See you soon. Bye. I can't press the end meeting.